things today.
You shouldn't miss it.
Let's do the driving destinations with Mr. Mars, shall we?
Yes, sir. I think we should. So
Where is it?
it's two down.
Go ahead.
go
So
ahead.
Please
one of the
start.
things that, if you want to go out hiking, if you're an outdoors person, sometimes you want to go out hiking just to get out into nature. A lot of people go to the Grand Canyon and things, but if you can't go that far and you want to look for a place around Houston, you could go to the usual Buffalo Bayou or Memorial Park loop that you all mentioned earlier, but there are other places that might be of more interest. For example, Terry Hershey Park. Now, this is, when you go there, you're going to see the main paved hike and bike trails along Buffalo Bayou, but what you want to do is get away from that and get into the informal dirt spurs that kind of go along the water line, especially west of Beltway 8. Now, the side paths kind of dip down into narrow tree tunnels. There's root-covered banks that you got to be a little careful on when you're walking on them, but there's a lot of bends that slow down to the almost swamp-like pools that you're going to see that you won't see from the regular Buffalo Bayou tracks and trails that you're going on. Now, you can also, after it rains, though, you got to watch out because parts of it's going to feel more like East Texas than Houston. And in the mornings, if you go in the early mornings, you're going to see some herons, some turtles. You might even see some deer tracks along some of the muddy edges that actually track up. Again, you got to be careful. Don't want to slip and fall out in the middle of nowhere. Now, the second place you might look at is the Edith L. Moore Nature Sanctuary. Now, this is kind of hidden in the city of West. It's more on the west side of Houston. It's not real big, but it's got a lot of trees that make it feel much larger when you're walking on foot. Got boardwalk sections that kind of go through the shaded creek corridors. You get a little bit of sunlight coming through. It kind of gives you a real remote feeling to it. It's very quiet for Houston in particular. You don't hear the traffic. You can hear the birds, and you can actually hear the winds through the pine and oak trees. The loop is kind of short, so it's not something that's going to take you all day, but you can take you a nice slow wander on a hike and go through it. Particularly a light rain, you're going to get some ground smells that actually will make you think you're in a forest someplace besides in Houston.
Ground smells.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ground smells. It's better than your cat smells out of your
Smells
cat
like
box.
dirt.
Anyway, so the third place you might want to look at is the Willow Waterhole Green Space. Now, this is a larger place. It's in southwest Houston, and it's really got its own, it's big enough to have its own ecosystem, and it's go on the trails. They wind through the retention ponds. There's several of them. You got a lot of tall grasses, open water edges that reflect the sky. At the sunset, you get some really nice colors in there. But unlike most manicured parks, it's intentionally not manicured. It's very unfussy. It's got curved paths and branches without any sort of feeling. You're kind of more wandering through, literally. Got a lot of bird activity, and on windy days, the tall grasses, you can actually see it wave like you see like in the Midwest, out in the middle of nowhere. Number 4 would be Spring Creek Greenway. Now, this is Houston's almost wilderness corridor that you might call it. It's the closest thing to a continuous nature walking corridor in Houston proper. Now, that stretches for miles along Spring Creek. You got some nice sandy soil underfoot, thick hardwood forest, and you got long stretches where you're not interrupted with any sort of buildings or anything. It's not like a city park, because this one has real distance. You can actually get a few hours deep, and I'm talking hours walking without looping back quickly. The forest changes as you move through it from dense oaks to pine pockets. You also have some low wetland sections that you can find, and you get to where you want to go to a scale of nature that really feels really out there. You can see some gray fox, and to be honest, this thing is listed supposedly as the longest trailing hiking area in the nation. It's 40 miles actually long that you could walk out through this thing. So if you get lost out there, don't do it. The fifth one that I would bring up is Buffalo Bayou, of course, Lost Banks and Side Cut Trails. Now, this is an underrated loop interwalk, as they call it. Now, most people stick to the Buffalo Bayou trails near downtown, but you get out away from that to the side banks and the feeder paths between downtown and Shepherd. There are some connections that drop you closer to the water. You get underneath the bridges. You can also get into some sun-shaded concrete and forest corridors where the city feels layered on top of itself. You know you're in the city, but you're not feeling like you're in the city. They got drainage channels. Of course, there's a few graffiti walls. There's a few places you can actually go fishing and find some openings in the skyline to let the sun shine in to where you do, again, feel like you're out in nature. So it's more of a pure nature hike, but it's really not out of town that far. So that's just a few of the few hidden places in Houston that I was not aware of. If you're a hiker, that you can go hiking. A couple of them are around town. You're going to have to drive to get to them, but they're there.
Very nice.
Cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very informative. I didn't know about all of that.
Yeah, the second one that you had when you, had the bridge with the trees around it. Do you hear any I don't know where it's at, but I'm just imagining there's probably car traffic, maybe highway traffic around that you could probably.
Now, the
smaller
second
ones.
one was the Edith L. Moore Nature
Right,
Sanctuary.
right.
And supposedly they say, which I haven't been there, but they say that you're far enough out that you do not hear all that traffic.
Okay, that's what my concern was. Okay, cool.
Thank you very much, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Now on.